Welcome back to episode 19 of Playing Every Golf Course in Essex. And today we're teeing it up at Belhus Park Golf Club, located just outside South Ockenden by Belhus Country Park itself. Let's take a look at what this golf course is all about. Now, as this was an evening twilight tea time, there was no taste test of the food on offer at Belhus Park this time. Instead, I had to settle for a pint of Foster's, a plenty of water for a hot day, and an SSP bar to keep me going over the next few hours. But enough about my snack and drink choices. Let's dive into the course. Belhus Park is a par 69 parkland course that plays at just 5,500 yards from the white back tees. On paper, it's not an overly long course, but I found it played a little bit longer than the RG suggested. Now, the phrase "a game of two halves" is usually used in other sports, but I think it perfectly describes the layout at Belhus Park. The front nine features very narrow tree-lined fairways that will prove a test for even the most seasoned of golfers. But most of the holes on the front nine follow a bit of an up and down layout, which can feel a bit repetitive at times. But as you get around holes 7 and 8, the variety starts to pick up and you'll notice the shift in the course's character. The back nine is definitely more varied and a little bit more hazardous set across this parkland course. You'll face more challenges with water hazards, well-placed bunkers, and even more ditches that come into play. But it's all part of the fun. What surprised me, though, the most about the course was how mature it felt. The trees dotted around the course were well established. I don't know why, but it just took me by surprise just how established and mature this golf course was. As for the course conditions, look, they can mainly be described as being a bit dry, but that's no surprise considering the hot, dry weather we've been getting lately. The greens and the fringes around them were the only parts of the course that seem to have any water on them, which definitely helped give the course a bit more colour in those hot and dry conditions. Look, the tee boxes were looking a bit worn and tired, and I've got to be honest, but the fairways were still very playable. And even though they were losing their colour, they were still cut very well. The greens in general were fine. Look, even if they looked a little inconsistent from one hole to the next, they played well enough and were more than playable, which was great to see. One thing what was a little bit unfortunate to see was there was no practice facilities available at the course, which is a bit of a shame, especially if you're looking to warm up before the round. But look, aside from that, the course itself offers plenty of challenges and it's still worth a visit. As for the cost of the round, this being a twilight round, it only cost me £15.50 for the privilege, which I thought was decent enough value for an evening round after work. There are some other deals that range from £25 to £35 each with a buggy during certain times of the week, which are worth checking out if you're looking for a deal. Overall, if you're fairly new to the game or live nearby and want a place that's quick and easy enough to get around in, doesn't break the bank and has a very relaxed atmosphere, then Belhus could be a decent option. Plus, it's a decent enough challenge that will keep you coming back for more. Let me know in the comments if you've played Belhus Park Golf Club before, and I'd love to hear your experience about it as well in the comments. And also, as always, let me know where you want me to play in Essex next. I'll see you soon.